In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Problems are with each one of us, with almost all of us. Some of the people, they are taking it lightly. Another some of the people seems much worried and upset due to their problems. Should it mean that the people who are somewhat relaxed, their problems are smaller and trivial, while the people who seems much worried, upset enough, their problems are bigger and intense? I think not necessarily so. It might be so, it might not be so. There is another reason which actually intensifies our problem, make our problems seem more severe, far more severe. This is the case. Is it true? I think it is very much true. You can talk to the people if you don't believe in it. You might come to know that some of the people with relatively smaller problems are more worried, more upset, more unhappy as compared to the people who have bigger problems. Why is it so? The reason behind it is that some of the people, they are good at making their problems become severe enough, in feeling their problems as a problem which is quite severe. Why is it so? It is the temperament of a human being on the one hand, the way we try to sort out the problem on the other hand. It is actually how we deal, how we handle, how we manage a problem. There are people who are found thinking and thinking and thinking about their problem, no matter what they are doing, if they are trying to sleep, if they are in the park, if they are eating or saying the prayer, no matter what they are doing, but they will be found thinking, and thinking about their problem. This excessive amount of thinking regarding a problem while trying to sort out, trying to handle and tackle a problem, this approach and this style, this methodology of the problem solving makes it become severe enough, makes it become intense enough, makes it become bigger and more troublesome. I think so that this excessive amount of thinking does not necessarily makes you solve your problem earlier or on urgent basis. It does not happen so. Rather, contrary to that, it makes the problem linger on for a longer period of time. Not only this, rather the problem become severe enough merely because of one thing, because we wanted to solve it as early as possible, because we were desperate enough and quite desperate to get our problem solved, and this desperation of ours actually made us to think about it, to keep thinking about it, regardless of what we are doing. And this excessive amount of thinking definitely made the problem difficult enough, even more difficult enough. Not only this thing, because once we are making our problem severe enough, unintentionally, unintentionally, inadvertently, unknowingly, because of our ignorance, or because out of our desperation, because of our anxiety, this style and this method of tackling the problem creates anxiety in ourselves, and this anxiousness, this anxiety make the problem become more and more severe. This approach actually is found deteriorating the situation instead of improving it. I think first of all, we need to understand that we don't have to think about our problem for all of the time. Rather, we do have to keep it in its perspective. Mean there are other things as well. There are other things which deserve our attention. We need to work well on all other fronts as well, and because it will create a kind of balanced situation. Not only this thing, rather I shall say that we need to get ourselves recharged enough by providing ourselves with enough amount of recreation, with enough amount of amusement. I think so. This recharges us, makes us even a more strong person. And if at all we are a strong human being, if at all we are a refreshed human being, let me tell you that we become sharp as well, sharp enough to tackle and solve our problem. This sharpness actually makes the thing much better and much easier. What do you think? Keeping the things in perspective, we need to carry out all other things, not necessarily because the other things are not necessary enough and urgent enough, rather because we want to keep ourselves in a normal state of mind. This normal state of mind will help us a lot in sorting out the problem, in tackling and solving the problem. I think so. We need to avoid the excessive thinking at all cost, because this worsens the situation. This makes the situation even more worse. We need to provide ourselves, as I earlier said, with enough amount of recreation, with enough amount of amusement, and this amusement actually will make the things much easier and much better for us. We need to employ our subconscious mind, although the time does not allow me to go into the details of how can we seek the help of our subconscious mind while trying to solve a problem, while tackling a problem. But one more thing at the end of this talk, which I deem very necessary to share and to talk about, is that we do have to learn to manage a problem. And management of the problem actually mean that we should be able to live with the problem. Not only that, we should never think that shall not be able to live well in the presence of a problem, and I cannot become a happy human being, I cannot become a normal human being unless and until this problem of mine, this challenge of mine has been taken out of my life. I think so. This approach is wrong. We need to learn, and we need to learn to live live with the problem, this our effort to live with the problem, this actually makes the things much better, and we become in a far better situation, in a far better condition to manage and to tackle our problems. This is the methodology, and I think that we need to avoid, we need to protect ourselves, we need to preempt a situation where our problems become more severe and more intense. Thank you.